365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
And welcome everybody to Thursday night's episode of Real Talk. I am Mr. Ray Bond, the host here, with my man Dev. What's going on, bro?
What's happening, Ray, man? How you feeling, Doug?
Battling through these children's germs, but I'm here to take everything that life has to give, is what they say. So yeah, that's how I am. What's going on with you? I heard you got a thought coming. Is that what I heard?
Man, my 105th thought is out now, man. Please go out and check it out, man. I got a real dope guest, man. Real dope guest named Eugene Campbell III, man. He's an international basketball player. He was currently playing over Portugal. Yeah, he was playing over Portugal, and he had a real dope story to tell, man. And it was real dope for him to reach out to me and then join my show. And like it's a real nice little at the ending, man. My man is actually want to bring his community program to Baltimore, and hopefully we can start something down here with his community outreach program. So big shout out to Mr. Eugene Campbell III, man. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Love to hear it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest. Kenny, Coach Kenny has joined us. What's going on, sir?
I'm a guest now.
I mean, I was just trying to be polite, but I guess if that's not the way we're going to start the night, Kenny, we can start shooting early if that's how you want to go.
Well, I'm saying you said you got a guest here, like I'm not a part of the show. I'm just making sure that I missed the memo or something.
Nah, no memos.
What's up, fellas?
No memos.
I think we're gonna start this off early, everybody, with some, because I feel throughout the show is going to be a lot of those.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a surprise. I'm gonna surprise you. You're gonna be surprised when we get to that topic. Right? You'll be pleasantly surprised. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, those are things I love to hear.
What we got here?
But let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen out there. We are here. We got a game tonight. My app, or whatever, maybe the start is late, but I still haven't got the update for when they're going to go live yet. But ESPN, we got Lakers and Warriors. And the shock to me, the Warriors are a 7-point favorite. Is somebody hurt that I missed?
Not that I know of.
No, this is a pretty much a must win.
We just watched them lose 2 games last series. It's fine. And they won 2 games on the road. These are the Warriors. It's okay.
Well, hold on. So I don't know if you heard about this stat, but according to the stats, if LeBron James is going up 2-0 in the series, he's 32-0. So
I kind of want him to win then.
I bet you do. That would.
Woo!
Because I mean, we already seen Steph collapse, so you would love to see that.
Lord have mercy. Because LeBron didn't collapse versus Dallas. We got it.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. You know, we talking about collapses. Tragic Johnson, it happens.
Everybody.
We on the same boat. So let's get to it. A 7-point game tonight. I have this series 4-2 Warriors. Obviously, I'm taking Golden State. Kenny, who you got tonight?
Yeah, definitely Golden State. Again, this is a must-win game. A must-win game for Golden State. So I just think that they're going to come out smoking, kind of like Boston did last night. I don't think. I hope it's not going to be as bad as it was Boston Philly game last night, because that wasn't even competitive in the second half. But I just think they're going to come out really strong, and they've already made an adjustment that what's the name is starting. Jermichael Green is in the starting lineup tonight. So I was watching the pregame. So Steve Kerr has already made his adjustment and put Jermichael Green in the starting lineup. So we'll see how what difference that makes. But yeah, I got the Warriors winning tonight.
Dev, who you got?
Now, do you want me to be a biased person right now, or do you want me to be a realist?
Both.
Alright. The bias in me is saying LA.
Okay.
But the realist in me, Kenny said it, man. This is one of them games that the Warriors is going to come out here like how Boston felt disrespected in game one. They felt like they shouldn't have lost game one, and I'm pretty sure Golden State by Clay, Steph, and Jordan all shooting 6 threes and lost. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen again. And then typically how the Lakers come back at the game too, because we showed the last series against Memphis. After we came out strong in game one, and then game two, it looked like the Lakers didn't show up. So I think I'm gonna have to rock with Golden State on this, to be honest.
Okay. I think that's the safe pick for sure. Rod, what's going on, brother?
What's happening,
What's
Rod?
I will say this. Game one was really hard for me to figure out. Like, my overarching theme is I think this series is going to be a war of attrition. I don't envision 80 playing averaging 40 minutes and LeBron playing 44. But to your point, the Warriors ain't going to hit 6 threes by their 3 best players every night either. So I don't know what's going to give. I will say typically layups last longer than
Looney might not play. He's dealing with illness. It's a
Maybe that.
Well, that's why to start. That's a big deal.
That's
If Looney's
huge.
out, that's trouble. Or it's different because now they're just gonna play small, and we'll see how that works out.
Run and gun all day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But I think that was going to be the counter anyway, because they can't beat them. That's the only way that they can beat the Lakers. They can't beat them. I don't think they could beat them playing half court basketball.
No,
I think the different. I completely disagree. I think we saw at the end of the fourth quarter when they went in that zone. I think LA gonna have to figure that out at some point tonight. Now, without Looney, it's really hard to get box out in zones. So they will likely get crushed on the board without him. So I don't know if that will play a role in their ability to play zone. But I don't see that being the case. I think the Warriors definitely can execute in the half court in such a way, even off that pick and roll, they was getting wide open. The reason they hit 6 threes is because they was getting great looks. Like LA's defense on that pick and roll was, I'd like to believe they're going to adjust, especially with Looney out. So this Looney issue might be a really big deal now, the more I think about it. But I don't know. That's just where I'm at. I'm going to stick with my Warriors pick, but I think this is trouble if Looney is out. This is trouble. Yeah. With that being said, we did have a change that I don't know if I understand what organizations are doing. I understand disappointment, but I also understand overreaction. And I'm a human being. So I don't know if y'all saw the report about Mike Budenholzer's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I just heard he got fired.
No, before he got fired.
In the last series, his brother died.
Wow.
Or passed away. Rest in peace. And it came out like as soon as the series ended, the report hit. And so I will be curious to see who they go get. But too often, I think people overreact. Y'all was still the number 1 seed. Like, y'all played a hot team with a player that had an all-time great run. I don't know that the roster is constructed in such a way, but I don't think the reason they lost this series is because of coaching. Like, they didn't play good enough. They couldn't figure out how to stop Jimmy Butler. You're going to say because Budenholzer didn't put Giannis on him and Giannis didn't request it. Is that a fireable offense? 2 years removed from a title? Like, I just don't know what the standard is. And it's not like Miami's just rolling over. They went out and won the next game in the next series. So, I don't know. What do y'all think about the Bucks getting booed out there? Who do you think would be a good fit? I'll start with you, Dev.
I agree with you as far as the overreaction. I don't see why did they fire unless he was willing to part ways because he, want to grieve his brother's passing or something like that. I can totally understand that. But if the Bucks was just saying like it's time for a change, I don't understand why. If it's broke, why fix it? And the Bucks was the number one seed for the last 2, maybe 3 years. At least they was in the top 3 seed in his tenure as a Bucks head coach. He got an MVP out of Giannis. He got a championship with the Bucks. He also what else? He got a Finals MVP out of Giannis. He got a scoring title out of Giannis, if I'm not mistaken. I think Giannis led the league in scoring. He had Chris Middleton, who was arguably almost considered as a top 2 guard in this league, other than him fading away a couple of games. He had Drew Holiday, that's a prime mid defender. And, he had made sure everybody did their job and held them accountable. So I'm not understanding why the Bucks would fire him. The only reason why I say the Bucks would fire him is maybe they was already interested in somebody else, in the long haul. And they figure if he didn't get a chip in another chip in a certain amount of time that they was willing to move on. And the only person I can kind of think of you ready to move on is maybe Nick Nurse. Because he's also a winning championship coach. He's out here in the market. He can bring a low market team to keep them competitive because he kept Toronto competitive. Even with Kawhi departure. And another person I can also think of is maybe what was the Hawks head coach that got fired?
Nate McMillan.
Yeah, Nate McMillan is also, I think, would be a good fit down in Milwaukee. So those are my 2 people I can kind of consider down in, up in Milwaukee.
I don't know that I like Nick Nurse for that job. I think he's a good coach. I don't know. That would be an interesting fit. Toronto's actually going to be interesting. I'll be curious to see what they do in the offseason. Kenny, your thoughts?
I agree with you guys. You guys in terms of it being overreaction, but I think the other perspective is that there was a level of expectations that was created. I think he's kind of almost a prisoner of his success to a degree because of the fact that he did do so well. To your point, Dev, is that he did so well. They won a championship. Giannis won these MVPs. They've been top 3 seeds in the league. They were the number 1 seed going into this playoffs, into this year's playoffs, and then to lose in the first round to an 8th seed to a team that had lost the first playing game going into it. So it wasn't like they started rolling on his watch. So I think that's part of it. And then kind of to bring it full circle and kind of be a little personal, I just recently got promoted at my school to the head coach.
Hey.
But I'm going somewhere. So we started together, myself and Marcus Perez, who was a previous head coach like 6 years ago at this school's Catholic school. The basketball program was really in bad shape. They were kind of like the laughing stock of the city. And in the last 6 years, we built the program to where now it's probably one of the top programs in the area, in that area. So now, as a result, like I have some expectations now that to continue what we built, from this point on. So like I can't get comfortable and live on the fact that we, built this team from the fact that it was a laughing stock to where it's a competitive team and a team that's known as one of the better teams in the area. We can't go backwards now. So like I think that's kind of what Milwaukee may have been, what had led to this decision is that they felt like the last couple of years that they kind of after the championship, it kind of like gradually started taking steps backwards. So I think that may be what their thought pattern was. I can't say that I agree with it, but I think that's what their thought pattern was.
So who do you think would be the upgrade in that scenario?
That's the problem. To me, that's the biggest problem. Now, don't get me wrong. That's going to be a super attractive job. Like you're going to get, a plethora of people that's going to be interested in the job. Now, the question is who's the right fit? Because this is a championship winning, franchise. Like you gotta, I don't know if you can necessarily go like, for me, I would love to see Sam Cassell get that opportunity because I feel like he's paid his dues. He's really been in that position for a long, been an assistant coach for a long time.
You think he's ready for that kind of role, that kind of pressure?
I don't know.
That's pressure.
Yeah, right. That's my point. Like the level of expectation is really high. So I'm not sure which you got to. I don't know if you can go with a guy that's gonna be his first head coaching situation. Going into it. So I don't know. Maybe a Mark Jackson, of course. His name has been always out there and haven't really gotten a real real look since the Golden State situation. I don't know. Like maybe I'm sure there's some hot assistant coaches that we don't know about that will probably get a look. But I just think that it's a tough. While it's an attractive job, it's also a tough job. So it ain't gonna be easy.
No, we definitely agree on that. A lot of pressure there. I did want to get to Damien's question. I don't know how that works. I have not been watching daytime TV as much. I will say, from what I've seen, there hasn't been an impact to sports yet. I know they have like stat people, but I don't know if that's necessarily show writers.
I think they fall under like two different categories because I think that those writers fall under the I think it's called SAG or screen, and I think they fall under that. I'm not sure how that relates to sports. I think that's only in regards to television and movies. So I'm not sure. I think they might be in two different lanes.
And I will say, I think you are correct, Kenny. And so the other part to that is apparently the SAG negotiations are supposed to be up in June. And they are saying that they plan to stand with the writers. So if that happens, and I guess the last time this happened, it went on for quite a bit, then we might see that impact, which, hey, we don't have that problem here. So ASAP will be live in full effect each and every day and night because we the writers. And so we'll be here covering the playoffs while others may or may not. I don't know. But I would say that Billy Donovan, I'm not a big fan of ever. So, more power to him. But
I don't think he don't have the pedigree. I don't think he has a pedigree for to say that again, it's gotta if you're saying the expectations are at this level, he's not at that level.
Mm-mm. So then my question for you guys, and here's somebody, this is a name I would like. I don't think it'll happen, but here's a name I would like. Giannis is a relatively tall man, strong man, light-skinned man, in the northern part of the country.
I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, me too.
There's another guy, former pro, lives and coaches in like the northern part of this country. They wear blue and gold. I wouldn't hate to see Juwan Howard in that situation. Like, I don't think he would leave Michigan because I think he has a good thing going. But I think it is time for Penny and Juwan Howard to take that next step in some form of fashion. I think they've proven they can coach, but then there's the recruiting part. And the recruiting part, isn't really coaching. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I would love to see either of those start to take that next step because I like a lot of what they've done for each of the programs. And I think in today's society, players respect players. And I think we'll see a lot more of that. And I think this would be a good step in that direction. I know we could go through Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, but that's not going to happen. And Yao Ming is not coming back. He might be coaching Dylan Brooks next year, but that's about it. So,
wow.
I'm just. Oh, that's a charge. That what?
Wow.
I ain't gonna lie. I put it on Facebook yesterday or last game. The refs are swallowing a lot of whistles one way.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that's dictating the outcomes, but that was a flat out charge just now, and they just didn't call nothing. Like, and we saw that last series where even JJ Redick came out and said the calls is going way Sacramento's way. So I don't know what's going on, but I ain't blind. And I would appreciate if we could just have a nice fair series so we can really determine who's going to win.
Well,
right now we're playing excellent basketball. LeBron's on fire. Came out 2 of 2, 8 points, 14-12 Lakers. They've come ready to play. I think the key in this game will be the third quarter. If the Warriors can make a run, I think they're in good shape. If it's close going into the fourth, I think the Lakers have them right where they want them, and then it will be a matter of execution and attrition.
And it's also going to come down to the others. It's going to have to come down to D'Lo. It's going to have to come down to Austin Reeves. It's going to have to come down to Schroeder. You know what I mean? It's
not Schroeder. I think we can get by without him. D'Lo though, need him. And shot he hit last game didn't get enough attention for me. Like, he won the game, and nobody really talked about it. It was kind of interesting.
But I think Schroeder is one of those. I think he's important because he's one of those bodies that you put on Steph Curry to kind of, you know.
He picked him. He picked his pocket.
You know what I mean? So, like, that's why I think he's in. He's definitely one of the others that they need to play well.
Fair enough. I won't argue with you on that.
And also Rui, he most definitely
gotta have shot makers, man.
Yeah, Golden State needs some too.
They got two.
Clay got to knock down some shots.
Yeah, consistently, game in and game out. That's that to me is this series. Who can be most consistent? I think they're well matched. They have different things that they do well. Who can do what they do best longer? Then I think that'll be who wins the series. And I pray everybody stays healthy, obviously, because
that'll change the series up.
Game changer these playoffs has been injuries, that's for sure.
Well, some might say that. Others might say it was bound to happen. Chris Paul is out, ladies and gentlemen.
I like how you set that up. Yeah, I like how it was bound to happen because
a slick transition.
Some things, some people are just born with, you know.
Don't forget modesty.
But Chris Paul, Cliff Paul will be having a partner at the State Farm Agency for the next couple games. Chris recovers from a groin strain. They said only 3 games. I think that's ridiculously optimistic, especially with his history. If he plays again in this series, what are we expecting? Like 50%, and the likelihood of a repull is really high. Like, that's just not a good injury at that position in this series. So I think they can cancel Chris Paul. Granted, he canceled himself really in the last year or two anyway, as far as I'm concerned. But he'd be out there. Campaign, you're up. I had Denver winning the series 4-2. What do you guys think now? I know you guys had Phoenix. I'm not asking you to change your pick, but do you think this has a chance to go a long way, or you think it's going to get late early? I'll start with you, Kenny.
It's going to get late early, and here's my surprise. Here's the thing I'm going to say that you'll be pleasantly surprised. DeAndre Ayton I have defended you time and time again. I have caped up for you on multiple occasions. The time is now. Like what you're doing right now is unacceptable. You're getting cooked by the Joker. Just getting cooked by the Joker. Like these half game performances ain't gonna cut it. You can't get out to these fast starts and you play these good first halves and then you disappear in the second half. Like there's no way. They have no chance. It's already hard enough losing Chris Paul, but they have no chance if he's just gonna play 24 minutes of the game. So DeAndre Ayton, you gotta step up. Now, having said that, with Chris Paul, it's late early. Like I don't campaign as much as I like him. I don't know that you can win with him playing extended minutes. It's going to come on, Booker's going to have to take on some playmaking responsibilities. KD's going to have to take on some playmaking responsibilities. And then I think the other thing is that other adjustment, we was talking about adjustments. I think Monty Williams is going to have to kick the dust off for TJ Warren and get him some minutes because the guy's a proven scorer in this league. And you got to get some other guys in there that's going to be able to get buckets or draw some attention, be able to spread the floor for Booker and KD to do their thing. And I think he's one of the guys that could do that for them. So I think Monty Williams is going to have to really take a look at TJ Warren. But having said all of that, the Suns are in trouble. This thing could be over in 5 games if they don't win this game tomorrow.
No, I agree. And that was something that I was very curious to see. And I'm not gonna I told you so here, but the talent is there. But the will to win isn't. And without Chris Paul, I have no idea how he's gonna get touches and have an impact. Like, actually, I just saw this. I wanted to pull it up. I might have clicked off of it. God darn. But what they were saying, and how one of the reasons we ended up here on this topic, and Dev, I will come back to you for your thoughts, is there were rumors. Get ready for this. There were rumors. The Suns desire to pair Katie and Kyrie back together. And they are willing to move the max, DeAndre Ayton, to do so.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that's out there. Obviously, sign and trade would become available. Kyrie's a free agent. But I'm just telling you what the rumors are saying. It's not me. I'm not trying to trade DeAndre Ayton, even though I told you I would. But yeah.
Well, we know you wouldn't oppose it. That's for sure.
I would have traded him 2 years ago. I would have never drafted him, but that's just me.
Nice.
Yo, how is that not a foul?
Nice back cut.
Did y'all watch that Jordan Poole drive?
Man, that was that was a wild play. That was his fault. That was not a fault.
I'm on an iPad, so it's small, but it looked like he blatantly hit his arm. Did they hit the ball?
No, he smacked Russell in the face with the ball.
Okay. All right, I might have missed it. It looked like he hit him on the arm. But Dev, your thoughts on what's going on?
I think the Suns are in trouble because this is, you called it, you said it, and we also said it too. Like the depth of the Suns are just after that 5 is like, who's left? Who is the next man up? You know what I mean? So we saying campaign. I'm not a campaign fan. I don't believe that he's going to be the guy that can get you over the hump. I'm a Devin Booker fan, but did y'all see his shot ratio? I
saw him shoot some air balls.
He was 11 from 29 with 20 points.
Yeah, I ain't that.
You know what I mean?
That's what I said last show. I said at some point they not gonna keep shooting that great together.
Yeah,
and it happened, and we saw the result of it.
And if Monty Williams, if that's your game plan, oh man, this is going to be cakewalk for Denver, man, because they don't have to come out of character. They don't have to make adjustments or anything in that nature. All they got to do is hopefully that KD don't become KD and become that monster that he was in Golden State. And hopefully that Devin Booker don't, find a better rhythm. Because like I said, they 11 for 29 for 20 points. That is not it. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to win you no games. So I agree with y'all, man. It's getting ugly for Phoenix now. Real ugly.
So that leads me to the next phase of this. Basically, what we are comparing here, and y'all know how the debates go. We know basketball well enough to know it's deeper than this.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the conversation is going to be KD and Devin Booker couldn't beat Joker. And under that premise, if they go out in 4 or 5, maybe even 6 to Denver, what is the message about Devin Booker at that point and even Kevin Durant? Or is it more of the same? And let's not forget how Kevin Durant went out last year in the playoffs.
I necessarily wouldn't blame them. I would blame Phoenix as an organization for getting rid of your whole team just to keep 2 stars there. You know what I mean?
But the people they gave out got swept in the first round. So it ain't like they gave up this great success story. Like, I like Bridges, but they went out in the first round easy.
Yeah, true. But
so I make that trade for Kevin Durant.
But the only thing we keeping alive about Denver is like, no, we all understand that Joker is that guy. We get it. But also Denver has a team. They has depth with them where that's going to outweigh Phoenix. You know what I mean? You got a Chris Caldwell Pope who's playing his role. We start to see Jamal Murray starting to wake up. We see Michael Porter Jr. is not being
Aaron Gordon.
Gordon, and then you know what I mean, you can name people outside of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant versus the Suns.
So here's my other question, because I like the point you just brought up, Dev. You mentioned how well a lot of the Nuggets are playing.
Mm-hmm.
Are they just really good all of a sudden, or is Phoenix defense just bad?
Phoenix defense just bad.
I mean, I saw 8.
Well, I was going to say, too, that, a lot of guys play better, guys like that play better at home. So, we got to see if they're still going to be able to do that, as the series shifts to Phoenix now. So I think the part of that is them playing at home. And then the other part is that the Phoenix defense. And that also speaks to the fact of depth, because where are you going to take breaks, or where are you going to conserve energy? It's on 9 times out of 10, it's going to be on the defensive end. So, and then your defense is going to suffer as a result because you're playing high minutes. So I think that's all a combination of all those things that has Denver looking as well as they do.
I'm with that. My question for you guys, and I know, Kenny, you slightly backpedaled, but given the enormity of this next game, what do y'all expect DeAndre Ayton to do in game 3 at home?
Beat DeAndre Ayton. You know what I mean? He is who he is. I've been got off the bus. You know what I mean? So it's no longer me to defend the guy no more. He start off fast. He comes out in the first quarter with all guns blazing. He can hit the elbow shots. He can play defense. He's showing that he can beat that guy. But now when it comes up on the defensive end against Joker, you know what I mean? It's like, whoa, big guy, where your feet at? You were just playing good defense, on Aaron Gordon. How come you can't play good defense on the Joker? So DeAndre Ayton gonna have to play the way he played in the first quarter. He gonna have to play all 4 quarters.
I'm with that.
That's it for me. Like no less than 20 and 10. Like you cannot give anything less than 20 and 10.
Now you gotta go. We got set the standard a little higher now. You got to get more than 10. You got to get more than 10. Because if you get more than 10, that lets me know that you was down there putting body on Joker. You know what I mean? You just wasn't down there trying to just get a 20 and 10.
Right. But I'm saying that's the minimum. Like you got to be at least 20 and 10. Minimum is 20 and 10. Like if you're not that for the rest of this series, they got no chance.
Right.
Fair enough. We will see. I am not optimistic
Like I said, I've been got off the bus. I'm with you, Ray, man. I'm not on that eating bus no more. That's it.
So let's finish the topic here then. Let's assume what we think is going to happen. Denver wins, let's say 5, 6 max. If you're Phoenix, what do you do? You got 4 max guys. You got Paul, Durant, Booker, and Ayton. So you're going to be paying a lot of money. I don't know that gives you the salary flexibility to go get veterans. I don't know that veterans are going to want to come play with that core. So we kind of talked about it last episode. Now that it's going this way, what should be Phoenix's next course of action? I'll start with you, Kenny.
I think, well, the definitely course of action is you have to make some moves that goes to the bench. And we've seen that, and then, you got to give shout out, and we talked about it last show, to Rob Pelinka, is that he figured out a way to flip that roster and to add some depth and to get younger. So it is possible that you could do it. Having said that, it might have to be the contract or be the sacrificial lamb to get that done. But I think that's what they're going to have to do, is make some tough decisions. But I think the other part is, though, the other side of it, though, is they may think, or the thinking may be, is that, listen, we only got Kevin Durant for 20-something games. We still haven't seen what this roster looks like over a full season. Do we run it back one more time and just add a couple of pieces, or do we blow it up? You know what I mean? So I think it's 2 ways of thinking that they may go. To me, I would say that you run it back one more season and add some pieces to, try to bolster the bench and run it back, because again, like the only trade chip you got is Ayton. So unless and then you're gonna blow up the roster again, and then you're gonna have to go through the same situation again. So I just think that the best course of action for them is to just do some tweaks and kind of round out that roster, because my last point is that if one thing we do know is people like playing with KD. So I don't know necessarily that you would have an issue with getting veterans to come to that team, because KD's a likable dude and people love playing with him. So I don't know if that's really going to be as much of a challenge.
We will see. Update everyone. Kevon Looney is in the game. He is playing. He's got a dunk. 28-24. Lakers have looked good. LeBron has really, I think, had an impact and imprint here on this first quarter. So I think if you're a Lakers fan, you're feeling good. Rui hits a 3, shooting well.
Shooting well.
So the Golden State, y'all better come to play. Better pack a lunch. Let's get to the Kenny side. The Knicks responded well. Won a tough game, closed it out strong. I think it was very obvious that the Heat missed Jimmy Butler down the stretch, and Tyler Hero for that matter, because Bam ain't that man. So, Kenny, how do you feel about your Knicks right now? You're feeling good? You feeling confident with the split, or what are you thinking?
Yeah. I expected us to come back and respond. Now, I will say though, that it wasn't easy. Like that. They really, credit to the Heat that they didn't lay down at all. Like we had to earn that win, because they shot the ball really well. Gabe Vincent and Duncan Robinson. Gabe Vincent had a big game, and Duncan Robinson was knocking down shots, and those guys was really knocking down shots. So it wasn't easy, but I feel good. I still, I think this is, like I said, this is a long series. I think it's a 7-game series. So I just think this is going to be back and forth, because Jimmy Butler is expected to play game 3. So I think it's going to be a back and forth, and I think it's going to be, your turn, my turn. I think it's going to go back and forth all the way to game 7.
Okay. All right. Deb, what you think?
Most definitely the Heat needed Jimmy Butler. They needed some type of scoring coming from somebody, some type of energy. Because Miami just not going to have it without Jimmy Butler or Tyler Hero. Duncan's not that guy. Bam, he's a good secondary guy, maybe almost a third, maybe. I like Bam. But the Knicks, like I said, I that found respect of Jalen Brunson. He came back and responded, like a superstar should have. You know what I mean? I had a bad game one. I'm gonna show up game two, no matter if Jimmy Butler there or not. You know, man, and that's what the Knicks needed. If it shows that long as if Jalen Brunson is going, the Knicks is going. So,
no, he's the key.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
most definitely, I can see this. I think this is low key the best series left in the playoffs. Because it's so much backstory to it. You know, this Heat and Knicks rivalry goes back into the 90s. So I kind of dig this series. And this series is a little bit physical also, too. The most definitely referees is swallowing the whistle on some of these plays down on that series.
All right. Yes, Rod, I agree with you. I do agree with you. It's playing mad. I also would say, Rod, LeBron has a history of when he gets hot early, he doesn't stop shooting. And so that can be a good thing or a bad thing. We will see. But 14 points in the first quarter is a big deal. It's big time. Coming out, setting the tone. That's what he's supposed to do. So greatness at its finest. I don't know. I agree. I think the Knicks are the better, deeper team. They're playing well defensively. But what we have seen in these playoffs, what we see in basketball especially, is one guy can make a difference. And so I don't know what that ankle is like, but to me, when everybody's at their best, Jimmy Butler is the best player on the floor. And we saw what that can look like when he get going. I also, as much as I like Jalen Brunson, I don't know if he's been through the wars and attrition like Miami's been through the wars and attrition. So I think the longer this series goes, advantage Miami. I will be very curious to see how New York comes out game 3. If they come out looking to make a statement, looking to silence the crowd, or if they don't. So I do think New York's the better team, but I do think Miami has the best player, and so we'll see kind of how that plays itself out.
Well, I think that the I think it's the rest of the team. For me, I think it's the rest of the team that I would be more concerned about in terms of the attrition, because Jalen just went through that last year. He went through a deep playoff run going to the conference finals. So I think he's a little more he's more battle tested than the rest of that team, because the rest of those guys have like no, they haven't. This is their first time even being in the second round. The majority of the guys is playing minutes. So I think he has some experience, but the rest of those guys have no experience. So I would be more concerned about the rest of the guys than I would Jalen Brunson.
Okay, I respect it. I do envision at some point late in these games, Jimmy Butler and Jalen Brunson will be matched up with Jimmy guarding him.
Oh,
the event. And I look forward to seeing that matchup, because I think that'll be good.
Yeah, he played him some in the second half in game 1, and he was struggling a little bit.
Yeah, especially more in the fourth quarter, in my opinion. No
question.
They're going to try to rest that ankle as much as he can, especially if he's not doing too much on the offensive end. So I can most definitely see that.
I will say another thing I'm watching is it looks like the Warriors are making a more concerted effort to get to the basket. I've seen Draymond keep going and not passing up layups.
All time. So
I think that's seems to be a change they've made. You got to hit that if you want to win, and he hit it. 35-33, Lakers lead. Last series that we have to recap, Philly. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Happy with a split.
Yeah. Which, you know what, is indicative of a Doc Rivers team. Happy with a split. That's how you blow 3-1 leads. You get happy with splits. Joel Embiid came back. He looked terrible. James Harden could not replicate his performance. And Boston.
I told you. It's nice, but it's night action in every city in America.
You did. Yes, you did. So yeah, we got Philly that I don't know who they are from game to game in this series. Don, why are you shooting that? That's a terrible shot. Um, actually, pause. We're gonna take a hard right. We did not get a chance to cover it because we had got off, I think, when the game, or maybe it wasn't that night. Did you guys like Jordan Poole's shot selection at the end of the last game? Was that too far, or was that within his wheelhouse?
Yeah, I felt like he could have took another dribble.
Because I don't
Yeah.
know if y'all saw, but Tyrese Halliburton said he liked the shot. He would have took it.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Shannon Sharpe
Yeah,
made
I
a
mean,
joke about it.
it's not outside his range. I just felt like
Right.
he had enough. He had room to take another dribble. It's wide open.
Yeah, I would have wanted him to take another dribble to take a better shot selection, but that's most definitely his shot because if he'd have hit it, everybody would have been like, "Oh, Jordan Poole, it's a pool party," and
Right.
you know, so I'd have wanted him to come in to shoot a better shot, you know what I mean? But that's in their game plan. That's in, you know, if Steph would have shot it, we be having this conversation.
You don't do that. They are not the same at all.
Oh my God.
So he's an idiot. Let me be clear. Like I like the kid, but that's a terrible shot. Like you had too much time left. You could have took a dribble. The defense was scrambling. Like there were so many other opportunities that you settled for that awful shot. Like those are the shots that get you beat. Those are the shots that get you beat. So I think he knew it once he did it. I think the coaching will be there. I think the support will be there. But that was a terrible shot. And you got to be better than that. But back to the Heat, not the Heat.
Hold on, real quick. You saying it was a terrible? Was it because of how deep it was? Or
Yes.
okay, gotcha.
That's too far.
Gotcha.
With that much space. Like if you ain't got no space in the shot clock and you're dribbling backwards and you just got to throw it, cool.
Yes.
But you had nobody around you.
Yeah.
Like take a dribble, set your feet, knock it down.
Yeah.
So quick question to y'all.
He panicked.
If he would have if he would have got the ball, let's just say 2 steps closer, would it be better for him to shoot it from there, or will we still ask him to take another drill, same time frame, but just in a different area? He moved up a little closer, and he still pulled up and missed it. Are we still telling him to? Dang, we want you to pull up a little bit more, or are we okay with that shot a little bit closer?
You got to shoot that shot. If you're 2 steps closer, like you mess up the whole rhythm, you bog down the offense, you got to shoot it. And I don't mind him shooting. I just think you just need a little more basketball intelligence. Take a step or two in, catch a rhythm, set your feet, let it fly, and I think you might have a different result.
Right. Kenny?
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered whether it was a dribble or 2 dribbles. Like as long as he got closer to that's one of those heat check type of shots that it wasn't necessary at that time.
I feel you.
Yeah.
All right. So back to the Boston Philly series. I've shared, some of my thoughts. I think Kenny, did you get a chance to touch on your thoughts?
No, I just think that a couple of things. One, I thought that they were, you were talking about Doc Rivers. I think that they played Joel Embiid with the thought of trying to really put their foot on their neck to try to go 2-0, which fell miserably. But but the other part to me that was concerning to me was that Embiid looked really unsteady on his feet. Like he was, falling down and, his feet. He just didn't look really steady. So that's concerning for me because, if he's not dominating again, we talk about this big man situation, especially with him. Like if he's not dominating, they got zero chance of beating Boston. So those are the things that's the biggest thing that's concerning to me.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Kenny. I think Philly shouldn't have played Embiid. I don't think he was ready. I think just because he got that award, I don't think he should have just thrown him back out there especially with a knee injury and a guy that's had knee injury history.
Mm-hmm.
I think he should have held out that. And Boston, for Boston to beat Philly like that with Jason Tatum only scoring 7 points, that's that's
Crazy.
scary. That's scary, you know what I mean? Because I'm a Jason Tatum fan, but I think the only way that Boston will actually win if Jason Tatum have to score. He playing like DeAndre Ayton for the last couple of games, man, and I think his expectation has to be higher. He has to average 20 something every night.
Question.
He can't just be. I understand you. Yes, you can have one bad game, but after that bad game, man, I expect you to have a 30-point night now, because now you teed off, you locked in, you more focused than trying to make sure that you're not having the same bad game. But it seems like Jason Tatum, we having the same conversation over and over. Oh, Tatum fading away, but luckily Boston has a deeper team than Philly. That can.
Did y'all just see that play Steph made? It was a real
That was
point.
dumb.
Yeah, that was a good pass.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead. Sorry,
You don't
Dad.
see that often enough, but go ahead.
But
Wish we could see that more, but go ahead, Dad.
oh,
Like the greatest shooter ever. It's like,
anywho, break up. I just think that Boston showed that they are more deeper team than Philly is, and Philly others didn't show up. They was banking on Embiid bringing them home. So that's what my take on game 2.
okay. Well, we're gonna see what comes of it. Obviously, health is important, but Embiid has to dominate. He has to be Anthony Davis, and that's in these kind of situations. He hit this. Yeah,
Gosh.
it's one of them nights.
It's,
Golden State better get ready.
It could get late early for these Warriors if LeBron could be playing like this.
Yeah, this
Like the basketball gods is on his side.
Man, this man banking fadeaway threes.
that's some bull crap. But he's done it to the Wizards. I can't even be. He's hit fadeaway, falling out of bound off the glass threes in the playoffs against us.
He sure did.
Come on, I'm not a Draymond fan no more. I told y'all this before, but come on. Point blank layups like that, man. You got to be killing. You can't miss those. You just can't miss those.
Yeah, that's a bad foul.
Especially with the, it's with that size that they have. It's already hard enough to score in the paint. Like you ain't gonna get too many of those. You know, you can't be smoking them layups.
Y'all underestimating the shot blocking trauma that they got.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like I understand that, but that was a freebie. That's
what I'm saying.
That was something you got to take.
Enough. Yeah, it's hard enough to do it when you're trying to score over AD and these guys and over that length. So when you get a free one, you definitely got to take advantage of that.
Good collapse in defense. Warriors have played all man so far, 40-40. So got ourselves a competitive game. Got ourselves a competitive game.
Save that zone for the second half.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna try to tie the Lakers out a little bit.
Okay, we're gonna see. So we talked about Boston. We talked about Phoenix. We've talked about the impact of what this means for Devin Booker should they lose in the way it looks like it's going. If you had to build your team and say this guy's going to get me to the finals and win, are you banking more on Devin Booker or Jason Tatum today? I'll start with you, Dev.
Dang, that's a tough question.
Yes.
But my man is hurt.
No,
man.
Did somebody fall on him?
Yeah.
He getting up.
Cool. But man, after I just gave this backlash to Tatum, man, I kind of want to build it around Tatum first. He has the size, he has the length. He's been deep inside. He's been deep into the playoffs multiple times. So I think I want to start with Tatum. I think I will start with Tatum. even though he has that off and on game. But I think if you build a good team around Tatum, I believe as what Boston has already have done, you can afford Tatum having that off and on game versus Phoenix. Devin Booker, as I said, that they 11 for 29 with 20 points. That's not a good shot selection in my opinion. And that's just Devin Booker game. He's been like that even before ESPN and any the broadcast stations paying attention to Phoenix and start broadcasting Phoenix game. So I think I would just build my team around Jason Tatum just to start off.
And I just want to make a point. Dave, you said something silly earlier, and I let it slide, but I have to come back to it. You said one series, I forget what series it was because it was so ridiculous, was one of your favorite series. This is by far the best series we got right now. Like,
the Knicks and the Heat.
Yeah, that I get what you're saying, but the star power here, the excellence of basketball.
But we would kind of expect that from this series, but we wouldn't kind of expect that from the Heat and the Knicks. So there's no disrespect to either one of those teams.
He said low key though, so that's why I didn't really.
Okay, because this level of shooting is not happening anywhere else.
Don't get me wrong. It's not. But it's just the physicality of that series. You know,
that is a bad foul. Golly, they keep calling this weak stuff. One way, man. They bumped Jordan Poole on his layup. They didn't call it. AD knocks him. Just stop. Let him play.
I believe one of these referees is the referee that gave LeBron the bad call in that Boston game. So I'm pretty sure he's going to make up this game.
If y'all going to let him play and bump, let him play and bump. If y'all not,
that's when you get frustrated. Yeah. You just want a consistent whistle.
If y'all gonna let him bump him off the screen, let him bump
just be consistent with the whistle.
Boy, Rui is saving us.
Rui, looking.
He is saving.
This is high quality basketball. That's a goal. This is just offense, and that's why I say a lot of this has been in the half court. They just executing very well. They're not a lot of fast breaks. Like that Jordan Poole play was a half court set. He just got to the basket.
Yeah, he got around that pick.
My Warriors are at 5. It doesn't feel
like I think it's pace, not so much maybe not transitioning, getting up and down, but they're playing with good pace, and then they're also spacing the floor, getting really getting downhill. To your point about them really making a concerted effort to drive it and get into the paint. I think that's really what's been the difference in this game tonight. Is that they've been running the offense with good pace as well as being really intentional about attacking the basket.
I agree. So in this scenario, if you guys were coaches, there's two frames of thought.
Coach.
What'd I say?
I said in this scenario, if we was coaches, so like, can he?
Well, talking about in this scenario.
Yeah, I'm saying if you were Darvin Ham, you obviously can't tell your team. Excuse me.
Yeah, not to cough like that. Yeah.
You don't have to tell. You're not going to tell your team, mail it in. My throat, sorry. But your best players played a lot of minutes last game. There are no 2-day breaks in this series. What kind of effort do you want in this game, knowing that you got one? Are you saying we got to go get 2, or is it let's put our best foot forward and see how it goes? Kenny, I'll start with you.
I think you want to try to get 2 if you can, but then you're also still watching. You're still watching the minutes because, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So I think that they're going to. I think it'll be one of those situations where, if we see this game get out of hand, that they're going to go quick and pull the plug on it, because again, if they, to the point that they got the split that they wanted, I don't think they're going to put their foot to the, pedal to the metal, all gas, no brakes with it. I think they're going to try to win the game, but if they see it getting to the point where it's not going to happen, that they're going to pull the plug early and try to save those legs for game 3.
So that brings me to my point. we see how the game is going. I was trying to pull it up. It looks like it's going to be a competitive game. I feel like the way it's going is going to be hard to get that rest you speak of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 80's played 18 minutes already. And we got 3 minutes left, and he'll probably finish the half. And he's, 4 points. So, slow start. But Rui has stepped up 4-4 from 3. So, you're going to need more out of AD. Clay has played 18 minutes as well. Kuminga and nor Gary Payton has played in the game yet. That's interesting.
Yeah, Kuminga has been out the rotation.
You have Tristan Thompson. You have Lonnie Walker. At this pace, LeBron at 16 minutes, and they're down 4. When do you think you get the time? And Golden State is predominantly a third quarter team, so you can't really run the risk of letting that happen. So if you're Darvin Ham, how do you play LeBron and AD the whole third? Like, what do you do?
No, I think you're gonna be quick. I think you're gonna be quicker with the substitutions in the third quarter to try to get them to try to buy some minutes and get them some rest in that third quarter, and see if your bench can kind of hold it down and hold down the fort and it stay, and not let Golden State on go one of their patented third quarter runs. So I think they're gonna be. I think it's gonna be an early substitution in the third quarter. And having said that, one of them is always going to be on the floor. I don't think that. It's always going to be one of the others going to be on the floor between LeBron and AD. He's not going to do that and take them both out the game at the same time. But he's going to trying to find a way to stack it, and I think that he's going to be a little early with the substitution in the third quarter. One of them is going to get an early break, and then the other one to try to hold it down. But I think that's the way he's going to go. But to your point, man, the fact that this game is so close, it's really going to be hard for him to monitor their minutes.
Dev?
I think Donovan Ham is most definitely they're going to have to play a lot of minutes again. They're going to almost play the same amount of minutes of last game, especially if it's a close competitive game. Now, if Golden State get out of hand in the third quarter and the Lakers can't contain them, I think you're probably going to try to, like Kenny said, wave the white flag early in the fourth quarter if you can't, especially if you're getting blown up by 20 plus. If it's 20 plus in that fourth quarter and there's no way that Golden State is slowing down, you wave the white flag, go ahead and try to get your rest as best as you can, because LeBron and AD most definitely is going to need it. So hopefully if it comes down to a competitive game, it ain't no rest. There's no reason to, this is the playoffs. If you want the rest, then you should have 1, 2, 3 Cancun and back in the play-in.
Straight like that, huh?
I mean, you ain't lying.
Okay. Off to a good start first half. We'll see who can close the quarter better here. I think that's going to be real important to see.
Catch.
See how they close. That's out of bounds, Lakers ball.
That's a tough catch.
So that brings us back to the drawing board. I don't know that I made this pick. Do y'all remember who I picked in the Boston Philly series? I don't think I wrote it down because when I went to check it, I didn't have it. Did I pick Boston or Philly?
We're going to run the tape back. Give me a second.
I would say I don't feel like I remember picking that series because I know it was difficult because I don't trust either one of them. So it's 1-1. I will go back to the tape, but I'm going to write down today Boston 4-3, but I don't know. And if I have something different, we can go back to that. But I don't remember picking. But I will go.
I can't recall what you picked though. I don't think about it.
I trust Boston slightly more in a 7-game series. But Kenny, to you, Booker or Tatum, who you taking to lead your team to a chip?
It's definitely a tough call. But I think I agree with Dad that I'm going to go with Tatum because of the things that the length and the ability to be able to kind of create. He can create. And then the other thing too, I think is underrated is Jason Tatum has really gotten better defensively. I think that's the next step for Booker. I think that's the separator between those two. I think Tatum is better defensively than Booker is, and I also here's the other really the big factor for me is durability. I think Jason Tatum has been way more durable than Booker. Booker's had a lot of knickknacks, a lot of injury, a lot of little nagging injuries over the last couple of seasons. So I think that's the other thing that why I would take Tatum over Booker.
That's a good point. That's very valid. Whew.
Were they in the same draft? That's what I meant to ask you. Did they come out the same year?
Tatum was third in that draft. I don't think I think Booker was there earlier.
Look it up.
But we could try to look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna see him. Look.
Because Booker got drafted later. 2015, he went 13th overall. Was Tatum in the 2015 draft? Towns won.
No, he was 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, Russell was second. Porzingis to the Knicks. Yeah. So, whew. Jahlil Okafor. Willie Cauley-Stein, Emmanuel Mudiay. What a disappointment he turned out.
A lot of tough ones.
Miles Turner, Campaign, Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier. This is a nice little draft. Bobby Portis, Hollis Jefferson, Tyus Jones, Larry Nance Jr., Andre Hunter, Kevon Looney, Montrezl Harrell, Willie Hernan-Gomez. This is a deep draft. We're calling Holmes, Josh Richardson. I thought the Harrison brothers was going to be better than they turned out.
I never was
coming out of Kentucky. I thought they'd be better than that. Norman Powell was in this draft.
I want to believe in that.
This is a really good draft. Huh. And then they just got crazy at the end. Bunch of nobodies. We had a challenge. I missed something. Why is Steph shooting a free throw? Who got a tell?
I was about to ask you the same question.
I didn't see where.
Yeah, I missed that.
Okay. Well, it
looked like
get
a tech, maybe.
I was gonna say they showing LeBron.
Doctor said they was saying. I was saying they was trying. LeBron was trying to take a charge. Then
it definitely wasn't a charge. I don't even know what the challenge was for.
Was that LeBron's third? I don't think he was in foul trouble. But if Bron say challenge it, it's hard to turn down. No, that was his first foul. So yeah, I don't know why they did that. Nonetheless, we are here. So we actually know we'll have time to cover it because he fights next weekend. Next Saturday, May 13th, Rolly is fighting. Showtime will be back. A couple boxing updates for you.
Canelo fight this weekend.
Fight. We talked about that, which is still trash. I still haven't seen no promo for it.
Oh,
I got one email.
Phil Handy was the technical foul.
Who was it?
Look it up. It was on Phil Handy, assistant coach.
The Lakers put it assistant coach.
If you don't sit down and quiet down, you're giving away a point. But nonetheless. But yeah, we're still waiting on Crawford Spence. But the fight that is allegedly scheduled to be announced soon, Demetrius Andrade and Jermell Charlo.
Okay.
The fight
that.
Is being Curry just got his third foul, so he will sit. So they're up 10 when Curry goes out with 2.5. Let's see what the spread is at halftime. But I would be really excited to see that. Hopefully they can get that done. In other news, I don't know if y'all saw Deontay Wilder got arrested, gun possession.
No, I didn't see that.
In California, not the kind of place. They said he went in without incident. They said he was calm about it, but not ideal. Not ideal at all, as they were just trying to talk about him fighting in December. I mentioned him fighting Anthony Joshua. So we will see. That was not a good shot, Clay. It was a bad shot.
Yeah, that was a heat check.
Didn't need to shoot that. So my question for you guys is: in that scenario, are you guys rocking with Andre or Charlo if that matchup gets made? Both. No, Charlo lost, so Andre is undefeated.
That's a tough one because Andre, quiet as kept, he got a lot in his bag, and he's a slick boxer. So, but I just that Charlo power, man, is something different. So I don't know if it's gonna be, kind of like a Caleb Plant situation where you can, be slick and only box for so long before that power eventually catches up to you. I think that's what I'm leaning towards, is that eventually that power is going to catch up to him, and then I'm going to go with Charlo winning late.
Late, okay. Dev.
I think I'm gonna have to just go with Charlo because I never personally seen Andre fight. I never seen one of his fights yet. I just always catch his highlights and stuff like that. So so I can't really give my assessment on Andre fully. I could just base my assessment off of Charlo, and like I said, he got that power, and I'm pretty sure he hungry for this fight because it's been a while since his last fight. So I can most definitely think Charlo got that power and can give Andre some problems. But like I said, I can't really speak on Andre's skill set. I'll let y'all do that.
Okay. Nah, he's nice. He good. I still would lean Charlo. And part of the reason I lean Charlo is not part of the reason I was leaning Tank Davis. It's competition. I ain't seen Andre really beat nobody that made me look twice. And that matters in these scenarios. And I think Ryan Garcia tried his best, but I think he was overmatched and the moment was a little too big for him. That's always the wild card in these situations. So that is why I would lean Andre, but I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a good fight. And I hope they can make it happen. In less important news, Adrian Broner says June 13th. He's supposed to be back. Maybe not. Who knows? Hope for the best.
Yeah, God bless.
Or maybe it was the 17th, not the 13th. Something he posted on Instagram. But yeah, we got ourselves the second half. It has stayed LeBron missing layups. And they called it over the back foul on AD. So quietly, Golden State has taken a nice little lead here. 10 points. I thought the spread at 7 was a little crazy. I still think it's crazy. I think it'll be closer than that. But the Warriors have managed to seemingly hang on here down the stretch. That's really all I got. Do you guys have anything before we get up out of here?
Nah, I really don't have nothing really.
Nah, man, this is the best time of the year. We're gonna enjoy these playoffs. Now it's starting to slow down where these games where we could just get one game a night. We gotta stay up through the night and watch, what I'm saying?
I'm with you. That 10 o'clock start time 30 times be tough.
Bro, so I'm looking forward to these. See how this weekend play out. And one last time, DeAndre Ayton, put up or shut up time, man. This is it. I can't defend you no more. You got to do it. It's now or never.
Now or never. Yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of times when I be talking trash about people, I want to be wrong. Like, I want people to be good. I don't want y'all to suck. Like, I want you to be better, earn your check, not be a disgrace to your family. But I can't control that if you are. So
now you're going too far. See, you was doing good, all right.
I know. My bad. But I do root for a competitive series. Hey, we'll see. Should be a fun second half. Jordan Poole with a dumb foul. Just not smart basketball. It's not that hard. It's not that hard of a game. It really is not that hard of a game sometimes. But I will let y'all go. We're going to enjoy the second half. We will be back on Monday. Should have a lot more clarity. DeAndre Ayton might be on vacation then. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But
nice little pardon shot.
We gonna see. Like the cockroach at the Met Gala, we are out.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.